Did you know that any of us can become wealthy? It might sound hard to believe, right? But let me share some truly inspiring stories of people who started with nothing and ended up becoming millionaires, even billionaires. These people weren't born into rich families or had any special help. They achieved financial freedom through determination, hard work, and by never giving up on their dreams. By the end of this video, you'll see that wealth isn't reserved for a lucky few. It's within reach for anyone willing to put in the effort. So don't miss out. Watch until the end. It's only 8 minutes, but it might help you get closer to your journey of becoming a millionaire. Let's start with someone almost everyone knows, Oprah Winfrey. Her story is a huge source of inspiration for overcoming hardships and finding success. Oprah was born into poverty in a rural part of Mississippi and grew up in conditions that would have crushed many others. Raised by a young single mother in a small town with very few opportunities, Oprah could have easily accepted her fate. But she didn't. She always had a fire inside her, a strong determination to change her life and do something meaningful for others. Even though she faced abuse and discrimination, Oprah refused to let these challenges break her spirit. Her big break came when she earned a scholarship to Tennessee State University. At just 19, she became the first African-American woman to become a TV reporter in Nashville. But that was just the beginning. In 1983, Oprah moved to Chicago to host a morning show. Little did anyone know that this show would later become the Oprah Winfrey Show, a TV phenomenon that ran for 25 years. Oprah didn't become a billionaire overnight. It was the result of a lot of hard work, a clear vision, and most importantly, belief in herself. Today, Oprah's net worth is around $3 billion. She didn't just build a career, she created an empire, always staying true to herself and using her influence to help others. I hope Oprah's story inspires you to believe that nothing is impossible if you're persistent and believe in yourself. Next, let's talk about Kenny Troutt, a great example of someone who started from nothing and became incredibly wealthy. Kenny was born in 1948 in Vernon, Illinois, and growing up, life wasn't easy. His father worked at a bar, and his family struggled financially. But Kenny didn't let that hold him back. Determined to get an education, he paid for college by selling life insurance. Kenny went to Southern Illinois University, where he discovered his passion for business and entrepreneurship. After graduation, he founded Excel Communications, a telecommunications company. From scratch, Kenny built the company, and by 1996, he took Excel public. Just 2 years later, he sold the company for $3.5 billion to Telcom, a big telecommunications company. Today, Kenny's net worth is estimated at $1.7 billion. His story shows us that you don't need to be born into wealth to succeed. All you need is determination, a clear vision, and the courage to take risks. Then we have Mohed Altrad, whose story is a powerful example of overcoming what seems impossible. Mohed was born in Syria, and his early life was full of hardships. His mother passed away when he was only 4 years old, and his father abandoned the family. Mohed was raised by his grandmother, and despite the challenges, he worked hard at school and eventually won a scholarship to study in France. When he arrived in France, Mohed didn't speak the language and barely had any money. He survived on just one meal a day, but he never gave up. He worked tirelessly and eventually earned a PhD in computer science. After working for big companies in France, Mohed wanted more. He took a big risk and bought a struggling scaffolding company, transforming it into one of the world's leading construction firms. Today, Mohed Altrad's net worth is close to $3.5 billion. His story is proof that no matter how difficult life gets, with education, hard work, and belief in yourself, you can overcome anything and succeed. Now let's talk about Howard Schultz, the man who turned a small coffee shop into a global empire. Howard grew up in a poor Jewish family in Brooklyn, New York. His dad was a truck driver, and the family lived in public housing. From a young age, Howard knew he wanted a better life. He worked hard and eventually earned a football scholarship to Northern Michigan University, becoming the first in his family to go to college. But even then, life wasn't easy. He had to take out loans and work multiple jobs to make it through. After graduation, Howard started working as a salesman for a coffee machine company. That's how he discovered Starbucks, a small coffee chain in Seattle at the time. But Howard saw something bigger in Starbucks and convinced the owners to let him join. He had dreams of turning Starbucks into a place where people could gather, relax, and enjoy high-quality coffee. In 1987, Howard bought the company and started expanding it across the U.S. and eventually the world. Today, Starbucks has more than 32,000 stores worldwide, and Howard's net worth is around $3.5 billion. His story shows that no matter where you start, with vision, hard work, and a bit of risk-taking, you can build something incredible. Finally, let's talk about Shahid Khan, a billionaire who started with nothing and built an empire. Shahid was born in Pakistan and moved to the US at 16 years old with only a few $100s in his pocket. He started out washing dishes for just $1 an hour while studying at the University of Illinois. Despite the challenges, Shahid stayed focused and graduated with a degree in industrial engineering. After college, he worked at Flex & Gate, a car parts company. A few years later, he saved enough money to buy the company, turning it into one of the largest private companies in the US. But Shahid didn't stop there. He also bought the NFL team Jacksonville Jaguars and the English soccer club Fulham. Today, Shahid Khan's net worth is nearly $12 billion. His story is proof that with hard work, determination, and the courage to take risks, you can achieve anything, no matter where you start. So what can we learn from these inspiring stories? The biggest lesson is that the path to wealth isn't easy, but it's possible for anyone. These people weren't born into wealth, they built it. They faced struggles and challenges just like us. But what set them apart was their ability to see beyond their circumstances and believe in their potential. They took risks, worked tirelessly, and never gave up. Some people might say they were just lucky. Sure, luck can play a role, but remember, luck only finds those who take action. These people didn't sit around waiting for luck. They created their own opportunities. They had a vision for a better life and pursued it with everything they had. And here's the takeaway. You don't need to be born into wealth to achieve financial freedom. You don't need a perfect starting point. What you need is determination, vision, and the willingness to work hard. Let these stories inspire you, and remember, no matter where you start, you can achieve wealth. It won't happen overnight, and it will be tough at times, but if you commit to your goals, you can get there. So, start your journey today and become the author of your own success story. In the next video, I'll share even more success stories and useful tips so we can all walk this path to wealth together. If you found this video helpful, give me a like to motivate me, and don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss the next one.